Okay, I just lost internet. And so I'll go back and walk you through what I'd already done and lost on the video. So number one, you is the understood you is the subject. Preserve is an action verb. Me is the direct object. For in you is a prepositional phrase. I is the subject. Take is an action verb. Therefore, refuge is a direct object. Number two, I is a subject, say is an action verb, to the Lord is a prepositional phrase, you is the subject, are is a linking verb, Lord renames you, therefore it's a predicate adjective, a predicate nominative. I is a subject, have is an action verb, no good, this good is a predicate nominative. There it is. Okay, because good renames I. All right, number three. As for the saints in the land, those are prepositional phrases. So I'm going to put a line through them so we don't get them confused. We won't find our subject there. In whom is a prepositional phrase. I'm going to put a line through that. We won't find anything there. Okay, so find our subject. They is the subject, underline that one time. Are is a linking verb, so we'll underline that twice and say LV right there, linking verb. Okay, and then we look for something that renames they because we have a linking verb. So ones rename they. It's a pronoun, therefore it is a linking verb. And I guess in whom is all my delight. This is interesting. In whom is a prepositional phrase. That whole phrase is acting as our subject, and this is very rare that we would see that. The whole phrase is the subject. Now, not one word out of it, but the whole thing. So is a verb, so we're going to underline that twice. And delight renames in whom. So delight is a predicate adjective. Okay, that's a very odd sentence. I just copied some. I tried to find sentences that are real life sentences, and I copied some. This one is actually from the Bible. There's a lot of like the little pigs and stuff. I found those on well, it's a nursery rhyme anyway, but I wanted real life sentences. So let's look at number 4. Always go through and find our prepositional phrases. Of those is a prepositional phrase. Of blood is a prepositional phrase. And on my lips is a prepositional phrase. Okay, so sorrows is a subject, underline that one time. Okay, and then who is a subject? This one's maybe too difficult. Run is, that is an action verb. Okay. And I think after another God is a prepositional phrase. So let's mark those through. Okay. Now we're trying to find, okay, so let me just come in here and do a little bit of bracketing. So who is the subject? Shall multiply. Oh, who run. That's right. Who run is the subject and verb. Okay. So we're going to put our bracket right there. All right. Who run after another God? That is one clause. So who run, subject and verb. And over here, sorrows shall multiply. So that is our verb. And shall multiply is an action verb. All right, so who run does not have any kind of an object or a predicate nominative. Sorrows shall multiply. We have an action verb. And then we have a semicolon. So we are not going to have anything after that. We don't have a direct object or anything there either. Okay, so they're drink offerings of blood. I is a subject. And will, pour is our verb. And take is a verb. So will, pour, or take, those are action verbs. Okay. So we have to ask ourselves, I will pour or I will take what? And names is the direct object. That was a little bit challenging. I don't know how you guys, if you did that well, but it's fun. It's fun. So let's go to number 5. So we do not have any prepositional phrases. Find our subject. Lord is our subject. Is a verb. And it is a linking verb. So we're going to identify it as a linking verb. So we're going to look for something that renames Lord or describes it. So portion renames. So that is a, come on, let me make sure I do it right. It's a predicate nominative, and cup is a predicate nominative because both of those are nouns. Okay. All right, stop highlighting. All right, you is the subject. Hold is a verb. It is an action verb. So we're looking for a direct object or indirect object. You hold what? Lot answers that question. It is a noun. It is a direct object. And my is a possessive pronoun about lot. So it is not a direct object. Number 6. We'll find our prepositional phrases. For me is a prepositional phrase. In pleasant places is a prepositional phrase. So we need to find our subject. Lines is a subject. Have fallen, that is a verb. That is an action verb. And then we have over here, we have a semicolon, so we cannot move on. So that's all we have right there. This one, I is a subject. Have, we're going to call that as M is our was, where, be, being, been, appear, become, like. Yes, that is an action verb. As we could substitute own or possess. That's how I know it's an action verb. And inheritance is what I own, so therefore it is a direct object. Okay, number 7, in the night is a prepositional phrase. Find my subject. I is a subject. Bless is an action verb. So I'm going to identify that. I bless who? I bless what? The Lord. That is a prepositional phrase. Who is a subject. Gives is a verb. That is gives is an action verb. So I ask who gives what? Who gives counsel? Counsel is a direct object. To whom? Lord gives counsel to whom? To me. Me is an indirect object. Okay. Heart over here is a subject. Instructs is a verb, so we'll underline that with 2 lines. And we identify that as an action verb. And heart instructs who? Me is a direct object. Okay. Before me on number 8 is a prepositional phrase. So I is a subject. Have set is a verb. Underline that twice. Identify the type of verb. That is an action verb. So we ask ourselves, I have set who? I have set what? I have set the Lord. That is a direct object. Always tells when. Before me is a prepositional phrase, so we won't find anything else because this is a subordinated conjunction. So we know that we're starting into a whole nother clause. He is a subject. Is a verb. We'll underline that twice. It is a linking verb. And I missed a prepositional phrase. At my right hand is a prepositional phrase. Okay, and I have a comma, so I'm not going to have any kind of predicate nominative or predicate adjective there because at my right hand tells where. It does not rename. All right, let's go to the next part. I is a subject, underline that once, and shall be shaken. Not is an adverb, so we will not underline that. And that is all of our sentence. Okay, number 9. Don't see any prepositional phrases. Heart is a subject. Is a verb. Underline that twice. And that is a linking verb. Glad renames heart. It describes heart. Okay. The next part, I have a comma, so I keep looking for subject and verb. My whole being here, that's funny, isn't it? Being, my whole being, what does it do? It rejoices. Rejoices is a verb, and it is an action verb. Okay? But I have a semicolon, I'm out of words. So I'm going to look for the next part because the semicolon tells me there's going to be more subjects and verbs. So flesh is my subject. It dwells. Okay, I want to underline that twice. And secure is not, it does not, flesh dwells, who dwells, flesh dwells what? Secure is a description. It is not a, so this is what we call an objective complement right here. We have an objective complement. I'll just put that right there. Okay, and I'll write it out so you know. This is an objective complement. Okay, we just learned about that. Okay, number 10. For you is a prepositional phrase, and I bet that acts as a subject too. To Shio is a prepositional phrase. Okay. So I'm not thinking that is a prepositional phrase. I think that is for is a conjunction. So you is the subject. That's a little tricky. Did you guys miss that? Because you has to be the subject. So will abandon, will abandon is the verb. You will abandon what? Soul. That is our direct object. Okay. And we have an understood you. And that confirms that I'm correct in saying that this you is the subject because this is a coordinating conjunction and the structure is the same on the left as it is the right. So you is the subject here. Let's underline that. Let is a verb. I underline that twice. You let what? And Holy One is what it's talking about. So that is, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is an action verb. I'm not a linking verb. Action verb. Okay, and so we're looking for a direct object. Holy One is the direct object. And actually this should be to see corruption. So that would be an infinitive phrase. And that was fun. I think that's the funnest one we've done. Okay. Okay, there are 115 possible on this, so count up the number you have correct and put it over 115 and divide.